Hi, I'm Natalie Woods, and this is your UFXBank Week in Review. Today, we will cover some of the major events of the past week and discuss how they impact the global currency markets. Spain's credit rating was downgraded by Standard & Poor's by one notch, from AA to AA negative, with a negative forecast. However, the euro did increase last Friday to a 5-week high versus the yen, while the group of 20 finance ministers met in Paris. The euro USD was last seen trading at 1.3879. Canada's dollar rose 2.9% to 1.0098 per US dollar, although it dropped as much as 1% from October 13th. The Canadian dollar strengthened the most since July on optimism that European officials are making progress fashioning a rescue plan for the region's debt crisis, which heightened appetite for riskier assets. The currency lost 6.9% during September, which is the most in almost 3 years, as instability rose on speculation European officials will not succeed in containing the region's debt crisis. The USD CAD was last seen trading at 1.0095. The British pound rose to a one-month high against the US dollar on Friday, which followed a move higher in the euro against the US currency. The sterling rose to $1.5803, which was its strongest point since mid-September. It followed gains in the euro, which rose against the dollar after a higher-than-expected US retail sales report increased demand for higher-risk currencies. The pound-dollar was last seen trading at 1.5817. The yen rose versus the dollar and the other majors as JP Morgan Chase and Company's profits fell and the European stock dropped Friday, which increased the demand for the yen. Technically, the USD JPY is trading within a narrow range with no clear long-term trend. Overall, the yen fell this week against all of its most traded pairs on speculation that Japanese authorities will take action next week to pull back its gains. The JPY USD was last trading at 77.19. Commodity currencies led by the Australian dollar rallied versus the US dollar on signs of stronger global growth, including an increase in US retail sales. The Australian and New Zealand dollars extended their second straight weekly gains on increased demand for higher yielding assets as G20 finance ministers met to try to prevent Europe's debt crisis from hindering global growth. The odd USD pair was last seen trading at 1.0337. Gold dropped as much as 20% since reaching a record $1,923.70 an ounce on September 6, as investors sold to cover losses in other markets. The last time that optimism of traders and analysts were this bullish, gold bullion rose 21% to an all-time record high within 2 months. The gold-dollar pair last traded at $1,680.32. Crude oil climbed to a 3-week high as the G20 started discussions in Paris on a solution to Europe's debt crisis, and U.S. retail sales rose. Crude oil for November delivery jumped by $2.57 to $86.80 a barrel on the New York Mercantile Exchange, the highest settlement since September 20th. Prices climbed 4.6% this week and have dropped 5% overall this year. Well, that is all the time we have for today. I hope you've enjoyed this week's review and you'll join us next week. Until then, be sure to visit us at UFXBank.com for all of your online trading needs. For UFX Bank, I'm Natalie Woods. Good luck and happy trading.